Ruthless Chelsea destroy West Ham United at the London Stadium. It was a beatdown from a pacey, a potent, and a powerful Chelsea tonight. And outside the opening few minutes where Paqueta put West Ham United in front, it was all Chelsea this evening. Get that like button hit for us. Get yourself subscribing. Make sure you are subscribing to the channel right now. Before you go any further, just get yourself subscribed. We're breaking that game down. We're going through it in detail. But Chelsea have now arrived this season in every single which way imaginable. They have turned up tonight in a big, big way. This is a huge game, and a game that, by the way, could be the second time in his career that Chelsea players get Graham Potter sacked, because it was absolutely horrendous on every level from them. It truly, truly was absolutely unbelievable. Chelsea robbed Terry Speak on my penalty. I don't know what you're talking about. You mean the handball at the end? It could have been given. His arm was out to the side, but outside of that, I don't see there being a penalty in this game. Moose here said, hope Palmer is okay. João Pedro, 1 goal and 2 assists up the Chelsea. Yeah, look, I think we'll have to wait and see what's happening with Palmer. They've taken it. He didn't play today, in case people don't realize, as on like a precautionary level. We'll have to just wait and see how bad this is, whether or not this is going to be something long-term, short-term, or not for Chelsea Football Club. But without him, Chelsea was still so potent. Chelsea was still so dangerous. Chelsea still looked in no trouble. I bantered some of the lads in the group chat, sort of saying, you know, no excuses, you better go and win still, etc. But they were always going to win. There was no doubt about that in my eyes at all. But Chelsea have turned up. Chelsea have arrived. Chelsea are here. Chelsea are devastating. And this attack, I want to make sure I say this in the right way. Chelsea's attack is absolutely terrifying. It's terrifying. It's ruthless. It's potent. And it can play in such a dichotomy of ways. It is I'm telling you now, Chelsea fans watching, go to bed tonight, wake up tomorrow morning in the knowledge that City, Liverpool, Arsenal, the teams that you are challenging for the title, in the title challenge with, they took notice tonight. Things will get played down. We're going to speak up with, West Ham. They're not great right now. Okay. They're not great right now. That being said, there's been loads of periods in their history where they haven't been great. And yes, 2 years ago, Arsenal put 6 past them. But you almost match their record amount of goals conceded at home. And if we're being honest, Chelsea took their foot off the gas after going 5-0 up. Chelsea, if they wanted to, could have added 6, 7, 8, 9, or 10 tonight. But in all fairness, yes, goal difference is important. But I don't think there was any point in these Chelsea players risking pulled muscles, running themselves into the ground for a game that was won in the first 35 minutes or so. This Chelsea team tonight, I want to use this phrase. It was controlled chaos. The way Chelsea pass and move that ball via their front line. And Palmer is absolutely required for this Chelsea team. Let me make that abundantly clear. Cole Palmer is needed. But there was a silver lining in his injury tonight. Chelsea Football Club got to check their system. Chelsea Football Club had the opportunity to run its patterns, run its plays, and attack without their best player. Definitely without their best forward-thinking player. And they were able to do that tonight, and they've come out glowing. A stars across the bat. They've left uni with a first. Sensational. Absolutely sensational. When you break this down, first of all, I want to start with João Pedro. I've said this about 5 or 6 times before, but I think I'm going to say it again. I doubted this signing when he went to Chelsea. I said it on streams. I'm not too sure. I mean what I said. I'd never really watched him at Brighton and gone, wow, there's a player in there. Just something about the way he played for Brighton. I thought, he's okay. But I wasn't watching him and thinking, oh my God, we are looking at an absolute baller. But I listened to my community. I listened to my viewers. I listened to my subscribers. And they said, Terry, you know, we respect you. We love the content. But take another look. Rethink. Watch closer. Try and see João Pedro from a different perspective. And I did. And after about a week of looking, I said, okay, well, I'm going to completely open my mind to being wrong. I'm going to take back what I said. And I'll be honest with you, I'm so glad I did. I remember Tom Little, who comes on the Football Terrace, doubling down, that it was an absolute bang average signing. I remember listening to him thinking, I'm so glad it's not me that's saying this. Because tonight, yes, there was output, 2 assists and a goal. I have him in my FPL team as well, so he did me a solid tonight. But it wasn't just the goals and the assists. It's 2 different positions that he can play to a very high level. But then it's the fluidity. So Estevão was out on the right-hand side, and we'll get onto him in a moment. You had Neto on the left-hand side. I always want to say Rory because of his dad, but Liam Delap in the central area, and João Pedro was central. But João Pedro would come up on the left, he'd come up on the right. There was a fluidity in his movement. Estevão and Neto also have that about them. And it reminded me so much of arguably the best front three in Premier League history in Ronaldo, Tevez, and Rooney. And even if you don't think it's the best front three, the fluid element where they could all play centrally, they could all play on the left, they could all play on the right to a top to world-class level. It reminded me of that tonight. And João Pedro, for me, was the linchpin of this. It looks like he's born to play for Chelsea. It's as though that pressure of buying strikers, which hasn't gone very well on a number of occasions for Chelsea Football Club, it's like water off a duck's back. There is no pressure for him. It's simple for him. It's easy for him. He doesn't care. He isn't worried. And that, for me, is sobering as a rival fan. Then you have Neto, who I think didn't have a great season last year in terms of output. For a player with his ability and speed, he definitely improved his availability. More goals are needed. And that goal at the far post, yes, Aaron Wan-Bissaka is sleeping. Yes, Aaron Wan-Bissaka isn't watching and isn't alert. But Neto's got to make the run. He's got to be there. If he isn't hungry, it doesn't matter that Wan-Bissaka's asleep. Nobody would have been there. I thought he was excellent tonight, and he ran for 90 minutes and gave a very, very good account of himself. And then you've got young Estevão making his Premier League debut start, and it was the last minute as well. Now, sometimes that can help you because you don't have enough time in the day to build up your nerves, overthink, and you can come in. And we all very famously saw Marcus Rashford get his debut at the 11th hour in a Europa League game and score a brace. He then started a Premier League game and scored a brace. So it can sometimes help you. But also, being that young, not getting the time to prepare, the young man could have allowed himself to become overawed away from home. He started the game, not poorly, but with a poor moment where he tries a flick, loses the ball, and Paqueta scores. But this young man just grew into the game. This young man got better and better. The speed and power that he has at 18 years of age is fantastic. The way he broke through, run through, steamrolled that West Ham defense for that cutback ball. Of course, Enzo Fernandez has become, I think in the Premier League, I can't think of a central midfielder that crushes the box as well as him. Top of my head, I can't think of one, if any at all. He's just always in that goal poacher's position. And he makes the run, and Estevão cuts it across and he puts it away. Second half, look, West Ham's heads had gone by then, but Chelsea had to remain professional. They came out in the second half and 2 goals from corners, one from Caicedo, the other from Chalobah. I mean, terrible goalkeeping, the truth be told. But that pressure that Chelsea put them under, they cracked. They often say that pressure creates diamonds or it cracks pipes. West Ham's pipes got cracked, and you could take that in multiple directions as an innuendo. There's loads of things that got There was a lot of piping going on tonight, if you get what I'm saying. Sorry to be rude, but West Ham got absolutely shafted and given a new one. There's no doubt about it. And this Chelsea team, look, they're up against a very difficult Crystal Palace team last week, and they were not at their best. And a lot of people, we spoke about this on one of my podcasts, Excited, the whole, are they overrated? Have people gassed them up too early? Is the World Club Cup form going to their heads? Are they overrated? Blah, 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 blah. And many will say tonight hasn't been fully answered because West Ham look like a relegation candidate team. Yes, they do. But you still got to deliver. But equally, as much as they look like a relegation team, Chelsea look like a team that could win the league. It reminded me of the Chelsea under Jose Mourinho, the Chelsea under Conte, the Chelsea the second time around under Jose, Conte's Chelsea. I haven't seen this Chelsea in the league. We'll see if it becomes more consistent. That being said, there's a lot of games towards the end of last season where this Chelsea was around, where you just knew they were going to win. That conceding that early goal, yeah, it was a really good goal. They conceded a second that was offside, and they were a little soft at the beginning of the game defensively. That is being fair. But as a rival watching who doesn't want Chelsea to win, I watched the game, I looked at the game, and I didn't really bat an eyelid. I knew what this Chelsea team were going to do. I knew this Chelsea team were going to win. I knew this Chelsea team, it's just got something about it that developed at the back end of last season and is now flourishing. A long, long way to go. More performances like this, but when you've got you've got the midfield sorted, the midfield's amazing. This front line now, Palmer's still got to be added to it, and Delap hasn't even got going yet. And that will be the one thing that rivals will pull on. Oh, you know, Delap hasn't scored yet. Look at his sofa score rating. I don't think any Chelsea fan worth their salt shouldn't give a toss about that at this particular moment. It shouldn't matter at all because everybody else is delivering. And that's what you need. In nearly every team you can think of, Chelsea fans, think back to your brilliant teams that won league titles. There was always a player or two, a striker, a winger, a midfielder that wasn't in great form when you were consistently in good form. But other players carry them. That's what teams do. And I wouldn't even say Delap's been bad either, by the way. I'm just saying not as good as the rest yet. But you've got that to come. You've got him to still blossom and start scoring goals as well. And yeah, this Chelsea team tonight were amazing, deserved this win in every single which way. And yeah, it was, as you can see, an absolute battering. But I want to see your views in the comment section below. I want to know what you think, what you feel. Get those like buttons hit right now for us, people. Get that done. Let's go to some of your comments that have come through. Tosin was missed against Crystal Palace. Would have won if we had him. Look, I did think with Tosin, you were better on the ball at the back tonight from a defensive point of view, taking the ball out and passing and moving the ball. You could certainly see that was an improvement tonight for Chelsea. You weren't up against as good a team, but it was definitely another area that I saw improve tonight. Rivals told me João Pedro only scores penalties. Strange. Yeah, he's very good, isn't he? He's very good. Bringing the washing in West Ham because you're getting ironed out. Up the ironing boards. Come on, Chelsea. Let's go. I mean, part of me felt a bit sorry for their fans. I don't know why, I just did. I felt a bit sorry for them. Dan Lawless was in the group chat. I could hear it in his voice, the pain, because they just look, they were made to look so awful tonight. And the players aren't playing. The players are not playing for the manager. And they've just made a mistake going for Graham. I still think Graham Potter's a good coach. But they've gone to a club that doesn't play his brand of football. They don't have the money or the scouts or the ability to, Brighton were great for it because Brighton have all their players from academy level right through to, both male and female teams. They all have a similar profile in how they play. So it works bringing a manager like him in. It's just ended up being an horrendous appointment. I had flashbacks with AWB at the back post. Yeah, Josh, me too. When I saw him sleeping for both those goals, I just had this little smile on my face and I'm glad it ain't my team anymore. He had a decent first season at West Ham, but he just falls asleep. He's brilliant one-on-one when you're facing him up. But when someone's drifting from behind, he does fall asleep. Did we just play PSG? Don't get the reference. Pedro was my man of the match, just selfless as a team player. Yeah, I thought he was fantastic, mate. I think you're absolutely correct. I think he had a brilliant game. Absolutely top game indeed from him. We're gonna go to some calls now. We've got a lot of people backstage. Actually, we've got I do remember his name. Roberto. Yes, it is. Roberto's backstage. We've got David. We've got Nick. We've got Jesse. We've got Lou. We've got Winter Surfer. We've got Andrew Barnes. We've got Kwess. We've got Cal. How many people is that? 6, 7, 8, 9. We're going to bring about 6 through, and then we're going to rotate some people through, just because otherwise it's going to end up being too many voices to begin with. Excuse me. Sorry. My dog scratched my face. I was fighting with my dog earlier, and he scratched my face. So that teach me for having a fight with a 50-kilo German Shepherd. It was all good fun, but he just gets very boisterous with me. And I got him in a headlock, and I rolled him, and he threw his paw around, and he caught my lip. It was very sore. And I had fish and chips tonight because it's Friday, and that really hurt. But we're friends still. Love my Rocky. He's a great dog. He's a great dog. What do you mean, brah? Yeah, it's just play fighting. Play fight. Who has a big dog and doesn't play fight with it? Because also it's a way of testing how much control I've got. Because sometimes he gets really up and he's growling and everything, like we're really fighting. But then all I have to do, legit, all I have to do is snap my fingers and he just sits and stops. He's a very good boy. He's a very, very good boy. Doesn't work with the kids. I click my fingers at the kids. They just look at me like I'm crazy. And I'm like, he ain't picked up on the cues, man. Right, let's bring the panel. Let me get my earphones on so I can hear what people are saying. First on the show, who we're going to bring out here. Let me just get this button ready too. Let's move this over here. So we're on the oh God, why didn't I remove the widget first? Get rid of the scoreboard so everyone can see my beautiful face. We've got Kwess here, we've got David here, we've got Roberto, we've got Lou, we've got Jesse, and we have Winter Surfer. We're going to bring the rest of you guys through in a bit. I want to go to Jesse first, because Jesse looks like he's going somewhere, or he's been somewhere, but he certainly looks busy tonight over there. But a big win for you tonight, Jesse.
Yes. Very, very, very big win. Much needed win as well. West Ham, I think they kind of made it easy for us, especially after they scored that goal. I think they scored that goal, and it basically went to their head a little bit. Their game plan, we know what their game plan was going to be. Sit back deep and break on the counter, but they scored that goal early, and the momentum was with them at that point in time. So they probably thought that, you know what, tonight could be a good night for us. And they started to play open, and that just went in our favor. Things was a bit hectic in the first 10 to 15 minutes. When they scored that second goal, that probably rushed to their head, but it was offside. But yeah, they kind of made it easy for us by not sticking to what they and trying to catch us on the break. But yeah, good win for us. Let's hope we could keep it up and go to the next game with the same momentum. Yeah, this was a much needed win for us.
Absolutely. And Kwess, I mean, your attack tonight just looked so fluid and potent and dangerous every time you went forward. That just must be so. You must be so excited about that.
Buzzing, man, super buzzing. I'm not gonna lie to you, because as you saw in the last week, people was cooking us. They said they should do better. We done better, and I was happy that it ended 5. It should have ended 8, but I feel like that's what happens when you got young players. Sometimes they don't understand the mission. Sometimes when you got older players, more mature players, they understand. Like Man City would have put 11 past them, because you got to understand when someone is there ready to be taken by the sword. Yeah, you got to put the sword right to the neck and just And we should have done that tonight. But I'm gassed. I can't lie, because all my boys turned up. The lap did his job. João Pedro coming like looking special. R9 regen, clip it. Yeah, Estevão, Gittins even came on, done his little thing. Hey, Enzo came back and answered the critics, said, yo, I'm tired, but I'm still here. I got it like that. Tossing, and I'm not going to lie. I've done my player ratings, going to release the video in the week coming. Chalobah, wow. From a man that was washed out at sea, this guy has come back. I had him 10 out of 10 today. If not for that Sanchez stinker, and you know, I was arguing with you lot and LB the other day. I apologize. I apologize. Let me be the first to put my hand up. I apologize. Get Sanchez gone. I want him gone. But yeah, let me stay positive, man.
Yeah.
Top tier, Chelsea. Top tier.
Yeah, listen, I agree with you on the Sanchez thing. I mean, in the end, the scoreline will paper over the cracks, but I don't know why he's moving his feet after the ball's being kicked away from the direction of the ball. I just saw it and I just thought to myself, that will be that little moment. Is like, listen, Chelsea fans, you should be on your owners who've done great for you this summer. Get a better keeper, because who knows where you're going to be come the crunch time. A keeper like him will be, let's say you're neck and neck with Liverpool, you're going into the last 5 games. Sanchez will cost you the league. There'll be a moment where you just need him to be perfect, and you know what he's got in him, man.
And you know what's mad, yeah? Chelsea fans will know what I'm talking about when I say this. Last season, yeah, Sanchez had this little non-turkey hairline thing going on, and then he cut it off. And when he cut it off, yeah, he came back like Bill Goldberg. He came back on smoke. All of a sudden, the fibers are there, and he's looking like a bozo again. And it's giving me PTSD, because I remember when we had Kepa in goal, Kepa used to dive as like he was doing a high jump. He still couldn't get the ball. I'm looking at Sanchez. You're like 6'5", bro. You have to claim that. But look, regardless, the team did a phenomenal job. Players were on point, and I can't lie. I'm very, very happy with that performance. Just gives us strength going into the next couple of games, man.
Absolutely. I'm going to go to a rival here for a moment. Lou, who's a United fan. There's a lot of impressive performances, João Pedro tonight, but also young Estevão, 18 years of age, Premier League starting debut, away from home in a London derby. What a performance from the lad.
Yeah, and he did. He really seemed to just take the whole thing in his stride. Like, he didn't look out of place. He weren't going, oh, he was good for a young player. He was good. He held his own, and he actually played a lot better than some of maybe the older members of the team as well. You certainly wouldn't have looked at him and said, you know, he's young, he's new, like there's nerves in there. And to be honest, I know a lot of people last week thought he did well. I wasn't 100% on him last week, and I think definitely this week he came out and he really, really excelled. And I think there was a big jump from last week to this week. And if he's going to keep improving at that rate, like if he's going to go next week and improve that much again, definitely I think some of the other teams are going to be in a bit of trouble, unfortunately.
Yeah, he looked potent. And David, what did you make of it? I know you're not always a massive fan of young players. I know you've always got a little bit of you're a little bit like the child catcher in Chitty Chitty Bang Bang. Children, you know, you want them gone, right? You want them off the road. I'm not saying you go out catching them in a cage, by the way. I'm just making that very clear. David doesn't do that. But even you must be looking at Estevão and thinking, this is a real one. I muted you, by the way, because you were making a lot of background noise. Sorry.
No, he's special. That kid is unbelievable. I'm not normally moved by youngsters. I'm normally like, give them a bit of time. But from what I've heard from every single report out of his own country, out of like the surrounding countries, the whole continent, and then he's moved over here. We saw him against us and we were like, yo, who's that kid? Is someone who you got to look out for. So I felt like Chelsea fans kind of knew what we bought, and we kind of read the report saying he's the, you know, people saying he's the new Neymar, this, that, and the other. But we didn't want to get too excited. But as soon as he's put on the shirt, he's assimilated so quickly. He's now part of the team, and he's showing guys who are older than him and should be more experienced. He's showing them like, yo, there's levels. There's serious levels to this. Like, I am making sure that I can't be dropped. He came in, replaced Cole Palmer, and I'm not going to sit here and be like he was as good as Cole Palmer in his prime. Like he wasn't, but he showed that I am capable to play this position. I am capable to take on that responsibility and say, I'm going to be that guy today. And he was phenomenal today. The only thing that I think he didn't do well was that shot at the end where he could have scored. Just take your shot and score. Like the goal was there, take it. But literally, apart from that, I thought he was fantastic. And also, I think, yes, I know he gave the ball away for the first goal. I think that's really unfair on him because, one, nobody closed down Paqueta when he just ran through on goal. Like all the defenders looked at him and went, "Oh, you're running through. That's quite nice." But also, it's an absolute worldie. Like he did the back heel and yeah, the ball he got tackled. But what I liked about him was that even though that happened, he still kept doing it. He's not going to have that Sancho thing where, oh, I can't beat my man, I'm now going to go backwards. He's got I will make this pass. I know I'm good enough to make this pass. His thing is going to be calculating the risk of when do I make this pass and when do I not make this pass. That's my only thing he's going to have, but that will come with experience. But he was phenomenal today. I thought, even though he didn't get a goal or an assist, I thought Liam Delap was really good today as well. Really good hold up play for the third goal. And he just, he showed what it means to have a proper 9 up front he's just harrying defenders. And yeah, he didn't get his goal, but that goal is going to come because he's in the right areas. He's not going, when Pedro Neto's crossing it at the back stick, he's not going short all the time. He's not got that Jackson problem where when he kicks the ball, he's falling over. So I'm not worried about Liam Delap. João Pedro today was phenomenal. That was a great performance. Who else? Pedro Neto, forwards and backwards, everywhere, doing a phenomenal job. The only thing I have to say on the performance, well, I've got 2 things actually. One is West Ham and Graham Potter. They didn't care today. They did not want to be there at all. It's great we won 5-1, but I'm not going to sit here and say this is the level of this team. Because if I'm going to do that, I could have easily said last week was the level of our team, and we've seen 2 completely different performances with like 2 or 3 different changes. So I think it'd be unfair to go, oh, we're amazing, everything's fixed, but I don't think we're terrible. Also, that Robert guy in goal, I really want to see. I've got a name for him, but I can't say it because I think it might cause. I'm not going to say it, Terry. I'll tell you after.
Okay. Tell me after.
It's because every time he's near the ball, I worry. And that's not gone away from me. I'm not one of these Chelsea fans that was like, oh no, he had his 4 months of playing really well and look at him last season. No, I'm not one of those. Because even in that PSG game, when everyone was saying he was phenomenal, he still nearly gave away 1 or 2 goals. His peak Robert Sanchez will still cost you goals. So I am not vibing with Robert. I need a new goalkeeper. The problem is that we've got a kid out on loan who's meant to be the next guy, who's meant to be him, but we don't want to sign a big goalkeeper and then block his pathway. That's what I think the owners are kind of struggling with. Do we go now and get a goalkeeper, but then Mike Penders is kind of stuck, or do we just wait a year because we may not win the league anyway and then integrate Mike next year? That's the balance they're kind of going with. But me personally, I don't want Robert in net. I don't want Robert in yet. I don't want Philip in net. I don't want Gaga in there. I don't want anyone. I just want my goalkeeper to be 6'5" and claim crosses. That's it.
I mean, look, I don't know how old he is now. I don't know how old he is now, but surely Petr Cech back on loan for a year would be a
He's been ice hockey. He's been doing
playing ice hockey. He's still fit. Do you know what I mean?
He's been playing goalkeeper in ice hockey. He's still in decent shape. Get him back.
I will second that. Bring Petr Cech back because Robert San, I stood like a good 3 seconds trying to. How did he move like that when he shot? That was a shot he could have saved.
So someone said this last season. You can't trust a Spaniard who's called Robert. Why is it not Roberto? Like there's something. I was like, there's an element of truth to that. Do you know what I mean? So imagine a Frenchman with the name Smith. You'd be like, what? That doesn't even make sense. What's going on here? But that's only a joke. If anyone's offended, please go and touch some fucking grass. Winter Surfer, my old mate. By the way, everyone who's backstage, we are going to bring you through very soon. Don't worry. Winter Surfer, a much better display. Did you feel tonight the ball was being moved quicker, the passing was quicker? Do you feel that there was a much improved performance tonight compared to last week?
Well, that's why I'm ashamed of the other panelists for not saying we're top of the league. So I'm just ashamed of you guys for not saying that out loud. We are top of the league, so we should celebrate that for this week. It was a much better. I think we really took control after their disallowed goal. Actually, I think that's when everyone really switched on, and we really then took it to them. Moved the ball much faster than last week. I mean, it was like literally going from a snail to Usain Bolt this week. It really was the way we moved the ball around. Listen, I don't care. West Ham are crap. That's not my problem. My problem was to beat them today, and we beat them comfortably. And there's something different about winning on Friday, Terry, because you can chill out for like 2 days the rest of the weekend where you guys are like.
I felt that just before I went live. My thought was, fucking Barca's can just enjoy it every game now this weekend. It's like,
Bad,
fuck you
but
guys.
Credit to everyone. At least till about the Bobby and goal, the better, because I'll be here for like 2 hours. I mean, the way I don't know why he's even going with that hand to even try and save it for starters. No one's even mentioned that. Why did he just go with that hand? But anyway, that's a bridge we'll have to blow up when we sell him. But yeah, very good display. People coming on, like I said, I think Delap underrated performance today. That little layoff for Estevão for the assist was very, very good. And João Pedro, I think João Pedro is going to go down as one of the steals of the summer transfer window when it's all said and done. He was just, very good. And Pedro Neto was very good again today as well. Seems to be a remontada season for him. All round, Enzo, you know what? Everyone was better from last week. Everything was better than last week. Every single thing was better. We conceded a goal, but who cares? We won 5-1. I'll concede a goal every game if we win 5-1. I couldn't care less. So it's good. We move on. Got Fulham next week. End the first international break on 7 points, and we're rolling. So it's all good.
Yeah, got your first win, which is the most important thing. Get those wins up on the board. Roberto, my old mate, long time no see. Hope you're good. The last few times, I spoke on camera, like things weren't going particularly great with Chelsea. Crazy what a few months can do, but brilliant first win of the season, Rob.
Yeah, I mean, amazing. I think this is a response that everybody was hoping for after the Crystal Palace. Questions were popping up again. Can the attack do it? Did we really fix the attack? Can they score goals? And I mean, this was a resounding answer from the entire team. And, we spoke about towards the end of the season, right? But this team is building a mentality, right? When somebody scores a screamer against you, it happens. You have to get back up and you can score. And they immediately responded. Like it was lightning quick. Drop Pedro Neto, boom, we're up 2-1. And we were in cruise control from there. And I have to give credit to Delap, because I do think a lot of people are going to underrate what he did. He obviously didn't get a goal or assist, but he was hold the play. He occupied the center back so much that João Pedro, in my opinion, had oceans of space to play into at times, where he wouldn't have necessarily had that if he was up top, right? And I think that this was an amazing team performance. And Estevão, man. I mean, I've been watching this kid as soon as we signed him. Obviously I live in America, so the time zones align and I can watch his late night games. And I watched him, play for Palmeiras in the Brasileirão. I watched him play in the Copa Libertadores when Palmeiras were in it. And I knew that this kid was something special, but I didn't think that he was going to hit the ground running like this. I mean, amazing. A great performance from the midfield, Caicedo and Enzo Fernandez scoring. I mean, I love it, bro. I'm telling you, the midfield duo, man, it's doing things. It's moving. And I really think that the way that, Maresca was able to, Palmer's out, let's put in Estevão. I love that. Like, let's trust the talent that we have in the team. Even when Santos came on, Santos was doing well. Yeah, let's trust the young talent we have in the team. I remember, during the Club World Cup, people were like, oh, Santos is going to leave. He's getting no minutes. Relax. You know what I'm saying? Like, he needed time to learn the system. He's moving. And I'm very much looking forward to, like what you said, a couple months can change so much. I'm looking forward to next week's game. I'm looking forward to the UCL draw. I'm excited to see who we get. And I have to give credit to the players and also Enzo Maresca. One of the things that's also very underrated that I want to touch on to be my last point. During the pod season, we were not only dead at defending set pieces, we were also dead at attacking set pieces. We barely scored off of set pieces. However, last season we 100% solidified, that we were very, very good defensively on set pieces, and now we're starting to see more of the ability to score and be dangerous on set pieces. Obviously, that's also due to the fact that João Pedro can actually head a ball, unlike Nicholas Jackson. So, like I said, a lot to look forward to. Very happy with the performance from the manager and from the team.
Yeah, absolutely. And I want to get another rival perspective here. Cal's on with us. Cal's a gooner. But Chelsea tonight showed a little something.
Yeah. I thought they played pretty well. And to be honest, Pedro Neto, he's going up a level. Every season I'm seeing him just like what I saw from him today is exactly what I would want from any winger at my own club. Like speed, power, like his ability to just beat a man, his decision making. And he was sprinting from start to finish. I think his work rate is underrated. He's just willing to run like 24/7 for the team, which is amazing. So I thought he was man of the match for me personally. I think Estevão really impressed me that game as well. I wasn't expecting him to do as much as he did because he's such a young player, and he is I think, was this his first appearance for Chelsea? I think. I'm not sure.
First start, but not
his first start. Well, I mean, to just pop in last minute for Cole Palmer, who is the guy, like you just swap him in for the guy and he just does that. That says something about him and his mentality. So yeah, I thought, and also I wouldn't say I was very impressed with Chelsea defensively as well, especially in the second half. When West Ham were trying to do something, they were trying to make a comeback, and there was a point in time when they were kind of boxing you guys in, but you literally stopped them on every single attack. I also want to say this: West Ham are probably going to get relegated. I picked them to get relegated. I just think that they're so crap. Wan-Bissaka literally was a Chelsea player today. Like, what was that? That was probably one of the worst defensive performances I've ever seen. He literally just stopped defending at certain points. But, you know, Chelsea exploited that. So, yeah, good on them.
Yeah, I hear you, mate. And look, CB, long time no see, brother. But I want to say very quickly, CB, your content over the Club World Cup was phenomenal. Absolutely phenomenal. The stuff you were doing outside the ground in the stadium was making me die, bruv. The stuff with the players as well. So big up yourself for that. And you know, the biggest reason I'm going to say it as well, I'm glad to see someone, I know you do some live streams and that as well. I'm glad to see someone get involved in this industry that instead of just going, I'm going to copy what every other fucker's doing, you done something different, unique. You brought some personality to it. So massive well done for that, mate.
No, thank you, man. No, you caught me off guard then, man. I appreciate it, bro. Obviously, make Chelsea great again. I have to always shout out the movement. We're on a mission here to make Chelsea great again, take us to the very top. You was the first person to even have me on a panel 2 years ago. And I was my biggest thing was I want Chelsea to be back where we belong, being the best team in the world. We was 12th at the time, racing for 40 points. We're now champions of the world, but the mission continues. We're trying to go for the league. We're trying to go for the Champions League. We finally got our statement win now. This obviously there was a lot of talk about us drawing against Palace. This is a Palace team now unbeaten in their last 15 games in the league in English football. That's aside from, you know, they had the preseason losses, whatever. They were undefeated against Man City. They were undefeated against Liverpool. They drew 2-2 to Arsenal. So a 0-0 draw to Palace. I didn't look at that like it was the end of the world, considering we had preseason games, and we started off a bit late due to the Club World Cup. Now, this was the statement. We want to go down. You know, it was, in my opinion, I think you guys have been a bit harsh on Sanchez with that one. That was just a cracking finish, bro. He had the swerve on there. There's nothing you can do with them type of ones there. I'm not going to point the finger at Sanchez. We just won a London derby 5-1 at the end of the day. I'm not getting on to nobody. What I will say is Estevão is an absolute baller. He's the truth. And I remember I had an argument 2 weeks ago with a Liverpool fan who told me that Cody Gakpo is a better footballer than Estevão. Now, his argument was, what's Estevão done? Now, I'm talking on pure football. I think Estevão is a better first touch. I think Estevão is a better 1v1 dribbler. I think Estevão is better more creatively. Now, the only thing that Gakpo probably has over Estevão is ball striking, even though Estevão is good at it. I was at the Club World Cup. I followed Chelsea for every single game at the Club World Cup. And I was there for the Palmeiras game in Philadelphia. I saw with my own eyes this guy go into war with Cucurella on the pitch. I was even scared for him because he looked like the way Cucurella was giving it to him. It had me a bit nervous. It had me looking like, right, these guys are about to be teammates. Are they going to be fighting on that? I didn't know. The finish that he did with his weaker foot there at that game told me everything I needed to know. This guy's a mentality monster. Now, to see that performance today, I think it's a shame he should have got a goal. He did overthink a little bit, but to slot in when Palmer went down in the 10 position, that's something that he said himself. His best position is the 10, and he showed it today. What a performance. And another person that I want to give their flowers to today is Trevor Chalobah. And like Trevor Chalobah, this time last year was training with the under-21s, being forced out of the club for pure profit. He ended up going on a dry loan to Crystal Palace, got recalled in January. He could have actually won an FA Cup medal now that I think about it. He got recalled in January, come back and won 2 trophies. He's now a Champions League winner, Club World Cup winner, Conference League winner. He's slotted in the performance that he played today, especially for the second goal. Trevor Chalobah is like that girl back in the day, you know what I'm saying, who, you know, she gives good neck and that, but she just can't be your wife. You know what I'm saying? She's reliable. You know, if you want to get a nut in, she will help you get your nut off, but she ain't someone that you're going to bring to your brethren and, you know, build a family with. But, you know what I'm saying? If when
I can't relate to technology.
you know what I'm saying? This
I
is
can't
just
relate to that one. Sorry.
this is just how we do it. This is just how we do it over here. You know what I'm saying? So you know what I'm saying? With Chalobah, ideally, most Chelsea fans will tell you, ideally in a dream lineup, you wouldn't want Chalobah starting for you. You know, that's the truth. But when you need him, when back's against the wall, he comes through for us time and time again. When we had the injury crisis last season, he came back in January and won us 2 trophies. Right now, Colwell has gone down. He was getting a lot of talk on his name during the Crystal Palace game, and he's come back and dropped a performance like he did, got the goal, but was impactful, won the ball for the second goal. He's still all reliable. You can't go wrong when you turn to Trevor Chalobah. So I want to give him his flowers because a lot of people haven't done that today. But I'm so happy, man. Make Chelsea great again. It's my birthday on Sunday. I'm just going to go out and celebrate this win. And I'm going to hate watch all of you guys this weekend.
There's a super chat here for you. I don't know what this is about, but I'm going to read it anyway. CB, is that black spray on your head?
Oh, you guys are kind of mad. You're not going to throw these accusations at me. Let me zoom in. I got my trim. There's 0 black spray detected. You guys, your favorite footballer, your favorite footballer needs to learn from me.
CB, the Mandingo likes you.
Okay. Before you can't throw that name out of context, and people don't know what there's a lot of people that don't really know me. That you can't just. For those of you that don't know, my barber, I swear to God, is his government name. I can show you his Monzo when I transfer him money for my trims. His name is Mandingo. Shout out Mandingo. Appreciate him. You know what I'm saying? So when I told when the stream met him and they saw that Mandingo gave me a trim, is a whole thing. They all laugh about it. Yeah, big up Mandingo. You know, no black spray over here. Takes care of me all the time. Big up the chat.
That's a madness. That may be the greatest name in the history of names. Do you know what I mean?
That's crazy. That's crazy.
But the expectations big, man. The expectation is massive.
You're going mad. That's mind games. That's my games there.
Oh, can you imagine? Can you imagine? This here says, give me Caicedo over Rice every single day. Nick, do you stand on that super chat? Do you agree with Lewis here? Caicedo over Rice every day?
100%. 100%. This guy over the last 18 months has been probably one of the most consistent defensive midfielders and midfielders in the Premier League. This guy is so good. Every single game you're getting a 7 to 8 out of 10, and it doesn't drop below that. Sometimes in the games you see him kind of give the ball away like once or twice, and that's it. Other than that, he's just solid. All the time he's solid. So, yeah, no, I 100% agree with that. And one thing I will say, we're no longer Cole Palmer FC. No longer Cole Palmer FC. And when I look at this attacking team, this probably is our best, in terms of output, this is probably our best attacking team we've had since Mata, Hazard and Oscar. When you're talking about output-wise. Estevão, I think he needs to start. Doesn't matter what age he is. I think this kid, if you've got it, you've got it. And I think he needs to start. Neto, this guy, like, if you're a rival and you look at Neto, you probably don't realise what he does. But I think for what he does for this team, he needs to start every single game because I think we're better balanced with him. So when I look at him as well, I think he needs to start. Same with Estevão. What I was going to say, I'm glad you said about Chalobah, because I think Chalobah is probably one of the most underrated centre-backs in the Premier League. I will 100% say that. And David, I'm looking at you because I've heard all the stuff you used to say about him. And honestly,
I'm still consistent with it. I think if he's starting for us week in, week out, we ain't winning the league. Like,
I honestly think this. He could do a role that Gary Cahill did for Terry. He's a B-side centre-back and he's a solid B-side centre-back. I still think you could get that A-side who's better than him, but he is good enough. This kid is good enough. And since he's been at Chelsea, he's been one of the most consistent defenders over that period. So I'll leave that there. Honestly, I think this guy's underrated.
Do you know what? I'm going to be nice about it. I'm going to say my bad. I will. I think I've done Chalobah a bit. No. I think I've done Chalobah a bit harshly. I know, genuinely, I think I've done him a bit harshly. And I think even though I still believe he's not good enough for us to win a league, he's defo done a lot more for this club than I thought he would do. So I'm going to put my hands up and say, you know what, I got that wrong. And I'm not afraid to say it. I got it wrong.
One thing on the Caicedo super chat, though, the one negative I'd say about today, and it's the only negative, it's a small negative, I think you should have subbed him off. When you're 5-1 up, we need to protect this guy. Bring Asugo on, give him some minutes. So I think that's the one criticism I would maybe have of this game. But again, I'm not gonna. We're 1-5-1. There's nothing to be negative about. But we need to protect this guy. We really do need to protect this guy. He plays every single minute, every single important game of the season he will play. So when you are in these leads, we need to give him a rest. So when you've got Sugo, who is, again, we've seen some bright sparks from him, but we've barely seen him play a game. So we need to give him these minutes when we are 5-1 up, in these games when we are comfortable. So yeah, I said Caicedo, I think I've said this for about a season now, he's our most important player. But again, we do need to protect him. Same as Cucurella. Now we've got Hassel on that left-hand side. We can rest him. But yeah, that's the thing with Caicedo. I think we just need to rest him at the right times. But we need him for the big games, same as we did with Kante.
Yeah, I think getting that balance is right. I suppose this stage at the time of the season, it's maybe not as bad because there is still only one game a week. But certainly when the Champions League kicks in, when the League Cup's in full flow, with you lucky sods that get to play from the third round. Do you know what I mean? So me and Lou can't relate to that one, being United fans. The super chat here is very interesting. I want to throw this one to Andrew Barnes, but of course the whole panel can join in. I cannot wait to see the football that we will be playing when it's Pedro, Xavi Simons, Palmer, Estevão, and also don't forget that 40-50 million pound guy Nacho that's coming as well. So
in your
more
dreams,
to come.
In your dreams, 50 million. In
40
your
to
dreams.
50. 40 to 50. 40
Nah,
to 50.
in your dreams, 40. It's 25.
It's probably 40.
It's
Hang on a
25.
minute.
Yeah, there's no way.
Tyler Diblin just went for 42 million. There's no way it's going to be 30.
It's 25.
Yeah,
And
but Tyler Diblin hasn't come out and said he hates his club and only despises one club.
That don't matter.
You know you're dreaming. It's gonna be at least 35. Bam.
Yeah, 35 to
If
40.
it's
If
any more-
yeah.
If it's any more than 30, I'm right.
It's going to be 25 plus 2 or something.
If Chelsea was selling him, yeah, it would be 60, but like otherwise, no.
Do you think after that today they actually even come in for him at all now, or they just go, no, we actually don't need him?
Nah, they want him.
I think they still will get him. I think
Like him,
Smart
is
and-
what I mean.
Yeah, 100%.
You're right. We've wanted him so bad in 8 months. We've never put in a bid. We want him that badly. Yeah,
You do want him. You do want him.
I think that the owners want him. I think that the owners want him.
8 months with 12 days left, not putting a single bid. We want him so
No,
badly.
but Andrew, you know what I won't be surprised about? What I won't be surprised is the here we go. Blue Co signs Garnacho playing for I won't be surprised if that happens.
That's where it's going.
Yeah, no, but Terry, yeah, to answer the super chat, like I think so. First of all, like it's sad that Palmer got injured. I heard the manager speak after the game. He said that it was midweek something happened before the game started. He felt something, so they wanted to be careful. And he said that they will only know later on, so they still don't know what it is that like the injury, the extent of it. But when that did happen, and I knew Estevão was starting, what it made me think of is immediately that he trusts Estevão above Gittins, because what he did was he played him and he put João Pedro in that position and he played Neto. So for me, that if he's trusting Estevão, it already is a good sign. And because of that performance, when he came in, I think on the 57th minute against Palace, I think just that performance, and we all said it, I think in our last, I think six-a-side, we said it. The way he's playing, you can't, he just announced himself. You can't put this guy on the bench. If there's a possibility to play him, they have to play him. And I think that he's got this tenacity. He has this, like when he plays, there's no fear. Even the goal, the assist that he did, he took the ball in from deep and he just ran through. He was not trying to look for, go wide and look and pass back and all of that. He went straight into the box. And this is what we were expecting from Noni Madueke. This is what we were expecting from Sancho when he was playing. And it's nice to see that this guy is doing that. For me, I am excited. Like, if we have more guys who come and play this kind of fearless football. I saw some of like Enciso's, and most of his goals were against us, and it was all from from outside the box. I want to see more of that. Like I think João Pedro took a shot from outside the box, because even what Estevão did, he did a lot of dribbling around a lot of people, and he could have slotted that in. He should have just taken the shot the first time. I think David was saying that he should have taken the shot the first time. So I am excited. I'm excited for these guys to come, for Simons to come, for
probably Garnacho will come, and I think that when we need him to play, I don't know, cup games, or I don't know where he will play or how they're going to play him. But for me, this Chelsea team is seeming exciting. We had to do a job. Again, I will always say this. This West Ham team is not the best team. They lost against Sunderland. But this is a team that was put in front of us. We had to do a job. We conceded a goal. And that is not Estevão's mistake. Even the manager just said that. So Maresca just said that. We can see that we conceded the first goal because he did those flicks. He did a couple of flicks. We lost the ball. He will learn. He's a young guy. He will learn that the league is different. You're not supposed to do those things like constantly and lose the ball. We need to keep the ball. One thing that Maresca said I did not like is he said that when they sort of like when we scored, I think 3 goals, he said instead of us keeping the ball, we were still trying to score goals. Where we need to be, keep our head and keep control of the game. I didn't like that he said that.
That is very Arteta-esque.
Yeah. So I think that we need to like try and win the game. And I think Kwess said it. Like we need to score 11 goals, 10 goals.
Yeah,
If we can't score,
I get that. I get that. But at the same time, I disagree as well. I think one of the reasons why Pep teams have been so formidable is because they go 2-3-0 up in games and then they slow the pace down. Fergie's teams did this. We'd go 2 or 3-0 up, and then honestly, I remember being a kid, and my dad was like, "You're right, son. Last 20 minutes of the game, I'm bored. Can I go to my room now?" Because I just knew we were going to see the game. That's when I was young. But as you get older, I'd sort of switch off and start thinking about other things. You want that because it means when you get to March, April, May, you got legs. I think if you're trying to like always score, you're always playing high octane football. Arsenal, their first title race season, go back to it. I think they fell off because that first 6 months of the season, everything was a million miles an hour. I disagree. I think you've got to pace yourself when you're leading.
I agree about the pacing yourself. I just think that this team was like down and out. We can capitalize because a lot of times, like you miss out on being top 4 or being in 5th position because of goal difference. When you can make that up in a game, and you have the legs because they changed the entire back line. We changed so many of our players, right? We could have like made that count. That's the only thing I'm saying. I'll just say one last thing about Sanchez, and I always had it with this guy. Today, after he conceded the goal, so like that was a worldie, okay? I agree, there was a worldie, but the way he went for it he did another save the same way. He jumps and he goes with the other hand to try and stop it, which is like shorter reach. So I don't know why he does that. And when people were, I think they were doing something for the injury, the camera went to Sanchez and literally you could see his soul. Like that brother's got like lost eyes. Like I don't know what he's thinking about. And I was like, why are they showing his face? Like, what is he thinking about? He's not concentrating on what is happening. It's just, so for me, I agree. I think the ball Sanchez needs to come back. Goldberg Sanchez needs to come back because this guy is not it.
I tell you, man, you could give this guy any hairstyle, he'd still be shit. So it doesn't really
I hear that. This here says that Enzo Fernandez is going to have a massive season. Kwess, do you agree with that? I mean, he's box crushing now or crashing, sorry, seems to be at a very high level. This could be a massive season for him.
Yeah, look, I seen him doing the same thing that he did in the Conference League final, like hitting the box late runs, like Lampard stuff. I just think the thing with him right now is like, I just want to see a level of maturity. Like when we're going into these bigger games, I want to see him be able to have influence on the squad, like mentally, because I think that's his next sort of gear up. Like I know he's able to get on the ball, he can spray it wide, he can get goals, like arriving late in the box. But I just don't know if his influence on the team right now is where it should be. Like I know obviously sometimes he's captain, but I just don't see that when we play. Like I don't see him have that influence, like telling people where to be or what to be doing. And there was a couple times late in that second half where when West Ham broke, like he's one of the main midfielders and he's still halfway up the pitch when we're tracking back. Like that sort of thing, once he rubs that out of his game, he's going to be a phenomenal player. Like I would not be surprised if in like 2 or 3 years time, Real Madrid come calling again, because he definitely has that level in him. So yeah, I think he's got a big season ahead, man. Him and Caicedo, boy, them two are special, serious players, man.
I was going to say there was a point in the first half where Fernandez skied it over the bar, and I think it was Neto who cut it back to him. And if you watch that, when Fernandez played the ball wide to him, he slowed down his run Everyone else flooded into the box. He slowed down his run and he did a last-minute sprint in. Obviously, he hit over the bar and whatnot, but that kind of tells you there, like his instinct to kind of get in the box late is really good.
Yeah,
I'm hard, bro.
Yeah, the growth in him has been absolutely crazy. Wifey's birthday, Chelsea 3 points, over the moon. Well, first of all, happy birthday to the missus, and I'm glad she's one that you could introduce to the mandem and to the family. Not all, according to CB, are doable. But you said you can't relate, Lou. I'm not saying you have done this. You're obviously a lady of refined taste, but I'll use the phrase I know that you guys use in Ireland. There's definitely some of your friends have only been seeing guys because they were good for a ride. That's all I'm going to say. It's
plead the fifth.
You're pleading the fifth. I always Irish expression always makes me laugh. I remember someone said to me once, this lad was like, "So if you guys like, is she good for a ride?" And I was like, "What?" He's like,
"What did you think that meant, Terry?"
I didn't know. It just didn't. I was like 19, a bit older than that. I was like, "What?" Now, obviously, we use the expression, but it's not the word. We use that word over here, but it was the way it's phrased in the Irish bit one, and then it clocked, then it dropped about a minute later. Garnacho equals market opportunity. Yeah, he's been talking to him all summer, telling him to turn down everybody else all summer, including Bayern Munich. But no, you don't want him.
Market trader opportunity. That's what that is.
Just accept the fact you're spending 40-odd million on him, including add-ons.
Terry,
Okay. Let's have a bet then. How much are you willing to bet that you pay more than £25 million, including add-ons?
Don't do it.
Don't do it.
I'm willing to bet £10,000 you pay more than £25 million.
Don't do
I
it.
tell you what, Terry, you loan me £10,000.
All right, cool. Listen, it will be more than 25 mil. It will be more than that, but we'll see.
Okay, it might. You know what, I'll concede, Terry. It might go to 30. I'll concede that.
Fair enough.
I just
Andrew.
going to happen. Like, I just can get confidence that he's actually going to be gone, because I just don't see it. We wouldn't get that lucky to get rid of Joe and Garnacho.
It'll be last day of the window. It'll be that stupid form that goes in 5 minutes before the window shuts when you tell the FA you're working on a deal, and it won't get announced till 4 a.m.
One of them ones, yeah.
I hope Sterling goes the same way. I hope Sterling and Chilwell go
the same way. Wait. Terry, swap deal. Take Sterling. We'll take Garnacho. We're all happy. We're all happy. You get rid of a player you don't want.
We give you Chilwell and Sterling.
I would rather get rid of Šeško and keep Højlund than do that deal. To be honest with you, it's crazy. Speaking of that, Rasmus Højlund is very close this evening to joining Napoli. I will say this, for someone who's fouled at the club, that's falling upwards. Like, in terms of going to a team that's in the Champions League, they're title winners, they're the favourites to win the title again this year. Fair play to that man. And it's funny as well, Luke.
McTominay knows a little bit about that.
And it's really funny. There's another one of the players that people like myself rated when he came in, but he has flopped. But he's one that Baller FC thought was shit from day one. He's one of the players that's actually getting a really good move. It's all the players at Baller FC always get signed by shithole clubs. It's so funny that Baller, another day for Baller FC. Both of us are in the mud because the players flopped at our club. But it's so funny that the Garnachos are wanted by Chelsea and Bayern.
Conte got a Premier League fetish. I don't understand.
I think Premier League players just do great over there. Look, I want to thank everybody that's tuned into the show this evening. It means a great deal to us that you were all here. We're back tomorrow with a done deal show in the morning, plus reactions to Man City, Tottenham, and Arsenal Leeds in the afternoon, which is sure to be a big Saturday. I'm glad I love it when there's a nice gap between the top 6 sides playing, so you can actually enjoy it and do the shows. It's very, very nice indeed. Boys and girls, thank you all for coming on. I want to thank the super chatters. I want to thank the mods as well for all they do for us in the comment section below. Until next time, take care. Goodbye. God bless. And we'll see you soon. Peace.